Well, it's time for us to find out what's up and about, and of course, the ladies and I, MM and Tokwe,
Yes.
we have loads of gist for you.
Hey.
And you know the usual gist merchant. She's going to download it. We are not going to waste time. We're just going to hit the nail on the spot.
Yes, so I'm just, exactly, I'm just going to hit the nail on the spot. A certain state's governor recently weighed in on a domestic violence case. It happened here in Lagos, of course. And he currently reconciled, you know, the two couples. And we had this discussion on our group, and it just brought to mind how much of our partners in those secrecies do we have to condone.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I use the word partners, because this is not, because we are an all women on the show today, doesn't mean that we are revolting against the men. No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm using partners, because we are supposedly seen as the homemakers. And in relating to this context of which, I mean, the other story which you're going to, you know, bring up about, I mean, that trended yesterday. We have to take in so much. Why do we have to be the ones to shoulder all of these, you know, what makes the women more tolerant than the men?
Okay, so this stuff you mentioned now, I've always found it amusing. Because growing up, and I keep making reference to my family, I was made to realize that the person who actually holds the home together is the man, not the woman. The man is the one who decides if his marriage is going to work or not. Because no matter how much effort a woman puts in, if the man is not interested, he is not interested. A woman can even still feign interest. But men don't feign interest. If they don't want to, they don't want to. So all the woman does is to keep putting up with things, trying to manage things, trying to patch things up. But it will not work until the... And that's why, if you notice, the usual thing is they'll tell you to go to the war room. So you're praying to make the marriage succeed. Why? Because if the woman was the one holding it, it's the man that will be asked to go and pray that his wife will be interested.
Do you have a war room?
War room.
Yeah.
The ones I'm praying about their financial wars.
Exactly. I was about to say that when I'm not finished praying.
I'm not praying for money. But I think what holds I'm not married, but what should hold a marriage should not be, I think it's supposed to be both parties. Exactly. I think it's supposed to be the man as much as it should be a collective effort. Yes. It should not be the woman. I mean, that's how we were raised, to think that the woman should pray that the husband will come back, or that the husband would realize, or that, and then one day it just happened that something mystical will fix his head, and then he'll come back. But if he be saying that girl will say she know they do again, you get, and then he comes back. But it should be that you come 100%, I come 100%.
It's funny you will mention this, because in radio, we're actually talking about this yesterday, me and the PR folks. And we're even going as far as talking about even when you go to the divorce courts. In most cases, if the man is the one who wants to get divorced, it seems like, the woman must be a terrible person or he's done. But if the woman wants to get divorced and the man is not willing, the woman will be made to feel like, why would you want to get a divorce when your husband doesn't want it?
And it's quite unfortunate that even with the evolving, you know, times in the society where we live in, a lot of women are afraid of moving on from an abusive marriage because of the fear of being ridiculed, from the fear of being discriminated, from the fear of, oh no, I don't want to be seen at, oh, they're going to point at you and say, oh, you're a single mother. And she's a single, she left her husband. She left her husband, not he left his wife. That's, she left her husband.
No, for him to have left, the woman must be a useless
Some people don't want to come out to talk because they're afraid of what people will say. And then you're afraid that, would I even get the help that I need? I mean, see the case of what we saw on TV of the governor intervening. The video, the lady looked really bruised. And then next,
are you not supposed to have him arrested?
You're telling me what? He said sorry. I mean, you even hear there's the saying that says, if sorry solves everything, we would not need the police. So if the police cannot, if sorry cannot solve it, we don't need the police, then it's not sorry.
Titi, I'm not going to even mince words, because I know you very well. You definitely have your own opinion.
I'm here for
on the issue of this governor. What do you think of it?
Goodness me, I actually felt really sorry for the lady, because even if, for instance, she wanted to leave now, in the public sphere, she's been told to reconcile with someone that she's probably afraid of. someone she's probably just been living with because she didn't want to let go of her home, etc., etc. And essentially, she's in a bind. She's in a vice. She's been handcuffed to this marriage just because of that public effect of bringing them back together. That's my personal opinion.
I feel like,
and then,
sorry, finish.
you know, it has become a case exactly like how MM said, you know, she left, not he left her. It's something we need to work on. There was a set of tweets, a thread of tweets that we were talking about yesterday, ladies, where there was a story of Funto, a wife.
Yeah, I think Tokwe has that.
Yeah. So I was really amazed. I was on set and we were having a conversation, and then Funto, a wife, calls out, Bisola, a wife, calls out the side chick, Funto. And then when you're reading the wife's part of the story, you're really going to be on the wife's side. And then Bisola now replies the wife, and then she's telling her how herself and the husband have been friends for 7 years.
It's actually a very complicated one, but
so
unfortunately, we really cannot get on with it. We'll definitely touch on it during the next banter. But don't worry, we have to take this break. Of course, you know, Wake Up Nigeria continues. Stay with us.